Well, it is time now for our Politics Roundtable, and today we have Democratic strategist Fred Hicks, the founder of the Hicks Evaluation Group, Republican strategist Spiro Amburn, Senior Vice President at McGuire Woods Consulting, and Rahul Bali, politics reporter at WABE 90.1 FM on your radio. Welcome to panel, guys. We just heard an incredible conversation between Zach and Mr. John F. Kennedy. Rahul, we want to start with you on your thoughts on this. And my question is, how likely is this state income tax to be abolished? How likely is that?
That's something I've been following. This whole idea of, if you're going to abolish the state income tax, how do you replace the billions of dollars? Is it going to be raising sales taxes on services? Like, you and I don't pay sales tax for your plumber or your mechanic. How are you going to replace all that money if you take away the state income tax? Two other interesting things about this race. First of all, the launches of the two campaigns were interesting. John Kennedy clearly linking himself to Brian Kemp. Steve Gooch, the majority leader, clearly linking himself to President Trump. And last thing, as somebody who has a seat in the back of the chamber, and all the senators are running, it's going to be very interesting in the upcoming session, sitting in the back, watching all the senators who are thinking about 2026.
You got to legislate while you are campaigning. I think this is a good moment to shift gears here. Spiro, I want to bring you in because we're talking about this income tax elimination proposal. Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones is now running. Of course, he's a Republican. As a Republican for governor, one of the cornerstones of his big campaign kickoff pitch was eliminating the state income tax. From a Republican strategy perspective, is this doable and is it a winner?
Look, I think it is popular with a certain voting bloc on the Republican side. As Rahul pointed out, you know, sometimes it's harder to implement these types of things because you have to look at ways to pay for it.
Because in Georgia, legislators have to pass a balanced budget.
That's correct, and we are already one of the lowest per capita spending states in terms of what we spend on our state government, which is good. We've had good conservative fiscal management now going back decades, so you know, it's a valiant effort to say we're going to eliminate the state income tax and compare ourselves to states around us, but we also have to look at the broader tax base and see how we compare on some of those other things like sales tax and taxes on services.
And I wonder, too, because anybody saying they don't want to pay less taxes, that seems like a winner. But Fred, will that be enough?
Well, you know, I think as Spiro mentioned, you know, this is a popular idea, not just with Republicans, but with people and Georgians overall. However, the question remains, how are you going to offset that, and where is it going to come from? Is it going to be hotel motel taxes? Are you going to see an increase in sales taxes? Or are you going to see further cuts to services? And Democrats, and I think all Georgians, are particularly concerned about services, particularly like healthcare services. We've already had almost 9, 10 hospitals closed. Are we going to further gut healthcare and put Georgians' health at risk? So there's got to be something that has to give here, and that's what Burt Jones has not yet addressed.
And let's talk about this field on the Republican side. Of course, we have Burt Jones running for governor now. Chris Carr, the Attorney General, he has been in this race since last year. On the Democratic side, former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms is in. State Senator Jason Estevez is in. Guys, if we can queue up, we have a little bit of some audio from Michael Thurmond, the former DeKalb County CEO, at a recent speech he gave in Albany, seemingly suggesting he's going to get into this race as well. If we have that ready, let's play that.
So I ain't going to stay long, but if y'all invite me back next year when I'm running for governor, I'm going to be up here for a while.
Look, given a sermon there, very well liked, left a huge legacy in DeKalb County, somebody that people figure is going to run, and it seems like right now he's announced that he is in it.
And they would be careful. Obviously, this happened. We reported out the campaign. Don't want to call it a campaign staff, but folks close to Thurmond say it's not an official announcement.
Right.
But that's probably about as close as you can walk.
It's about as close as you can. He said it.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
How do you all feel about that?
Well, I think the big question is, when is he going to announce? He talked about this time next year. Well, this time next year, the primary will be over. So are you going to get in 2025, 2026? As we saw in the lead-in, Mayor Bottoms is moving forward. Senator Estevez is moving forward. This train has left the station, and he's falling further and further behind. So I'm not sure what he's waiting for in terms of getting out there, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'll add to that. I mean, the clock is ticking. We've been talking about this all summer, you know, when people are going to announce. We saw Burt Jones get in, you know, after the 4th of July holiday. I suspect that we're going to see one or two more candidates in both the governor and lieutenant governor's races, but time is running short.
We're already in July, Raul.
Yeah, but he does have that base in DeKalb County, which is going to be really important in a Democratic primary. But I would agree with both of these. You feel you're starting to hear the clock.
Well, on that point, I'm sorry, Fred. We are going to have more time for panel on the other side of the break. Stay with us. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. Well, she is widely known for her role in the hit reality show Married to Medicine. And now Dr. Heavenly Kimes wants to go from primetime to politics. Bravo reality star, cosmetic dentist, and entrepreneur is running for Georgia's State House District 93. And I sat down with Dr. Kimes to talk about her priorities and how she plans to balance her reality on screen to her reality on the campaign trail. Let's say you get this job. Day one, what is your priority?
My priority has to be education because I feel like education is something they cannot take away from you. If you get that professional education, no matter what happens in the community, in the district, in the state, you can still have a viable income. Now, we can actually talk about education and the limits that they're putting forth on getting a professional education, too. I think that is something we need to concern ourselves with.
In reference to the big, beautiful
the
bill
big
that was just
ugly
passed.
bill, I like to call it, the big ugly bill. Yeah, they're putting limitations, I think, to $200,000 total in loans. Now, I see a little bit of both sides of it because it keeps you out of debt. However, there are a lot of people that cannot go to school, cannot afford school without a student loan, myself being included. I would not be a doctor today without the HEAL or the DEAL loan.
A lot of people know you from reality television.
Yeah.
How do you respond to critics who say that your on-screen persona could undermine your political aspirations?
I think that, first of all, I'm not a felon. I hate to say that way, but seriously, I'm not a felon. I don't have a lot of issues that a lot of political campaign people have. I'm a professional. I'm an entrepreneur. I've ran multi-million-dollar businesses. I've created jobs in the district. I have a vested interest in my community because I have a business in Gwinnett County. So I think that people need to know that entertainment is entertainment, but I do have a quick mind and a quick thought process and a quick mouth.
And you take me to my next question.
Right.
You're known by some for your unfiltered commentary. You don't keep anything, you don't sugarcoat anything, right? You put it out there. But some of your commentary has sparked some backlash.
Yes.
Recently, you apologized for some comments when you were talking about a conversation with, quote, real men. You did apologize for that from that YouTube video, but how do you plan to navigate some of your past comments that could be used against you in the campaign?
I think that I just had to hit it head on. You know what I mean? I'm a person. I'm not perfect. I would never say I am. But I think we need somebody bold that's willing to speak up, that's not afraid to speak up for our people. I think that's one of the reasons so many people are backing me. And the people backing me has been so supportive. I've gotten so much support. So from everybody, every culture, every background. So I'm very excited about running. And I think that people know everyone makes mistakes. But the thing about it is you have to own them and keep going.
Okay, we are back with our panel. I want to turn to you, Fred, as a Democratic strategist at the table. We just saw this interview from Dr. Kimes. What is her strategy if you were planning her campaign to, number one, kind of distance herself from reality television and really kind of try to take a seat that's held by Doreen Carter, who's been in that seat for nearly a decade?
Absolutely. So I would really fashion myself as a serious, substantive policy candidate. She has the TV, she'll have the name ID, she'll have the financial resources, but take issues like education, like healthcare, and other democratic issues, and really make herself an expert on those and talk about those things. And I think if she does that, she'll be more than okay and has a decent chance.
Could that reality TV be kind of an advantage for her, though, the popularity?
Well, it'll help her raise money. It'll help her stay in front of people. And again, in this district, I think that's a little bit conservative. It doesn't hurt her at all.
It's another race that is going to get a lot of attention is the U.S. Senate race here in Georgia. We just saw Insurance Commissioner John King. He has dropped out of this race. Congressman Buddy Carter says he is staying in. We've got about 90 seconds left here. Spiro, what jumps out at you right now in this race?
Well, first, I don't recall a candidate getting in a Senate race and jumping out so quickly.
Like 10 weeks, right?
In unprecedented times.
And he had raised, about $1 million in the campaign account.
It done decent, but obviously it seems that Governor Kemp is now weighing in. Georgia history is not on the side of anointing candidates necessarily, but Governor Kemp is riding a wave of popularity and power under the Gold Dome. So I think he wants to exert his influence here, and we'll see what happens.
And that's the thing. I mean, Governor Kemp is widely popular in Georgia. If Derek Dooley gets into the race, he puts his backing behind him. I mean, these other candidates, they're going to have a little shaking in their boots there, Raul.
I think the most interesting thing is, what does the rollout of Derek Dooley's campaign look like, assuming he does run? And we're also hearing that Congressman Mike Collins may jump into this race. What does the rollout of his campaign look like? And are we headed towards a Trump versus Kemp situation if President Trump backs Mike Collins and you have Kemp backing Derek Dooley?
Fred, from a Democrat's perspective, if that does play out, where there's sort of the two-track endorsement primary where you're looking to get Governor Kemp's backing and other candidates are looking for President Trump's backing, for Democrats, do you kind of welcome that scenario?
Oh, absolutely. And I think you do two things. Number one, you force any Republican candidate to take a position on Epstein that will divide them from the president potentially, or put them on the opposite side of the president's base that's fractured over this issue right now. And I think the second thing, to Spiro's point, this is very risky. In baseball, if you get 3 out of 10, you get a big contract. In football, if a quarterback complete 7 out of 10 passes, he's headed to the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Well, no one bats 1,000, and so if the governor swings and misses on this, which I think he will, then it can hurt his legacy.
There's also a chance that the governor and the president could come together behind a candidate. So
there is. Guys, we appreciate you as always. Stay with us. More Georgia Vote is up just after the break.